Okay, you kind of got to follow the math here, but I'm just going to draw a border around the perimeter. So what to do is take the scale, the 16 scale, which is a ruler, and set it to 0 in the lower right on the left edge of the sheet. And I'm going to make a mark at 1/4 inch, but then I'm going to shift up to the upper left of the sheet. Same thing, make a mark at 1/4 inch. Okay. Let me do it from the top of the sheet down. So I'm going to turn the scale this way, set it to 0, make a mark in the upper left at 1/4 inch, and then shift over this direction, mark 1/4 inch. Okay, now I'm going to come this direction. Scale happens to be upside down, but that's okay. 0 at the right edge of the sheet, make a mark at 1/4 inch, and then shift down here. 0, mark at 1/4 inch. Now I've got the bottom of the sheet to do, so I'm going to set it to 0 and make a mark at 1/4 inch in the lower right, and then shift this direction, 0, 1/4 inch. Okay, so that'll get things going. Next, I like to use my triangle as a straight edge. So I'm going to take the straight edge and line it up with the 2 marks up top. Now I know you don't have a drafting machine. I don't have a drafting machine. I'm not using one. But I can still try to be as professional as I can. So I'm going to make a light mark here. I might have to go back and darken that in. I'm going to make a light mark down below too. And all I'm doing is lining up the 2 marks I made and drawing a light line across. This line's parallel with the bottom of the sheet here. Oh, let's see. I got to come across the right hand side here. And the left hand side. Now, what I can do now is I can actually darken in. You see, I've got 4 corners, 4 intersections. One here, in this upper right, one down here, in the lower right, one over here, on the left hand side. Actually, my tape's on there, so I need to move my tape a little bit. Okay, so let me get this just right. Hand drawings are a little trickier. They really are. So I got one down here, and then one up here. And so from there, this line, I'm going to go back and darken it in. You really want these to be dark. In fact, generally, you're going to use a 0.9 millimeter pencil. I'm using a 0.7. I'm just going to press hard. Not trying to break lead, but, you know, you want a good solid border going all the way around. So same thing on this right-hand side. Let's see. Come up here. On the bottom here. Very important, right? And now I know, you know, exactly where my border is. So just line up the marks and darken it in. Darken it in. Same thing up here on this left-hand side. Okay, make sure you don't make mistakes. Try not to make mistakes. Hand drawings are different. You really don't want to make mistakes. Now, some people draw the border last, but I'm doing it first. Now, I need that title block on this right-hand side. What I'm going to do is I'll take the 16 scale, which is full scale. I'm going to set this line, this border on the right to the 1 and make a mark at the 0 in the lower right of the page. And then shift, let's see, and then shift up here, set it to the 1, make a mark at the 0. Okay, and then between that, I'm going to draw another dark line. Watch, another dark line. Now just a little bit funny. Okay, so we've got what is 8.5 minus 1/4 inch minus 1/4 inch is going to be 8 even. So I'm going to take this title block and just split it in half. So I'm going to make a mark at 4 inches here and 4 inches here, and just split it in half. Okay. Okay. Now, lettering. We're going to want to letter this, right? And so we're going to want things like project name, the person that's drawn it, maybe a person that checked it, maybe the customer, the date, the scale, things of that nature. So we've got an inch here, and lettering should be preferably 1/8 inch tall. And you want a 1/16 of an inch spacing away from lines of lettering. So what I'm going to do next is kind of strange. Let me, well, not really strange, but it's logical, and I need you to follow along. I'm going to flip the scale this way, only because of my light source here. And I'm going to make marks. I'm going to make a dot at a 1/16 the inch, and a dot at 3/16 the inch, and then a little short line at 1/4 inch. Then I'm going to make a dot at 5/16, and make a dot at 7/16, and I make a short line at 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to go 9/16, 11/16, and then make a short line at 1/4 the inch. Last but not least, make a mark at that's going to be 13/16 and then 15/16. So it'll kind of look like the ruler. It might be a little hard to see. Let me do it again down here. So you want 1/16 the inch spacing, but you want 1/8 the inch text lettering height. So I make a mark at 1/16 and 3/16. Then I'm going to draw a short line at 1/4 the inch. Then I'm going to go 5/16, 7/16. Then I'm going to make a short line at 1/2 the inch. Then I go 9/16, 11/16, and then a short line at 3/4. Last but not least, I go 13/16, make a little mark, and 15/16. And it should, let me kind of zoom in on that. It should kind of mimic what you see on a ruler. The reason why I do this is because the lines, the longer lines, are going to become my lettering space. Let me get this just right. Let's see. Oh boy, there's glare. Okay. Yeah, right there, I guess. So there's one lettering space area. Here is, let me get this lined up just right. Here's the other. These are at 1/4 of the inch intervals. And there's another. Okay, good. And then next what I'll do is I'll draw very, very, very light lines. Notice how it kind of looks like sheet music or something. Okay. Next, at the 16 marks, the 16 interval marks, just draw a light line. Very light line. Kind of like that. And what that is that's going to be the space that you need to use to letter, to put your name, the date, the scale, etc. And take your time. Hand drawings take a little more time, I think. Well, it just depends on how experienced you are. Okay. Now, what to do? The project name, we don't really have a name of this project. We'll call it a 3-bed, 2-bathroom. Or maybe we can do, oh, here's a good one. We'll call it Dream Home. How's that sound? Dream Home. So let me kind of rotate the camera this way. And my lines of text here, well, that's what they're there for. So I'm going to write project all capital letters, project, and then put a colon, and we're going to call this Dream Home. How's that? And we might want to put, you know, drawn by. Let's see, drawn by. Colon. Martelli. Oh, let's see. The scale. Colon. We're going to draw this at 1/8 inch equals, yeah, I'm using shoddy equipment. Most of you following along probably are too. Equals 1 foot, 0 inch. Today happens to be, so I'm going to put the date. It's going to be April 15th in the year 2020. The other side, you can just leave that blank for now. If you're a student of mine, you're going to want to put whatever class you're in.